Hey guys, this is Amber from NotableInk.com, and I am sharing a project that I created for CutCardStock.com. If you're watching this video on release day on August 30th, this is the last day for the sale over at CutCardStock for all of their white cardstocks. So head on over and stock up on your Nina or your other favorite white cardstocks while you can. I'm going to be sharing these two background panels today that I made with Nuvo Embellishment Mousse. I've been on a background kick lately and I can't seem to stop creating them, but my friend Nikki Corsi sent me a couple of Nuvo mousses and these blending sponges, and I thought it would be fun to do just some simple backgrounds. So we're doing Nuvo Bokeh backgrounds. So I've just taken the sponge and dabbed it into the Nuvo mousse here, and this color is Pacific Teal. And I'm just kind of twisting it around on the paper a few times until I get the amount of coverage that I want. I love this, I mean, you guys know, I love any of the teal colors. So we're going to use 3 different colors, and I'm going to start off kind of putting on the circles, the bokeh dots, in 3 sets of 3 or odd numbers. So here I have Aquamarine. Now this is one that I have had for a while just in my stash, and it's dried out. And I don't know why I am kind of fighting with it. I really, so later in the video you'll see me spritz it with some water, but you can see that it's dried out because it kind of just flakes off. I mean, you get a really good result when you're twisting it on, but you'll see the excess just kind of flakes off. So the way to combat that is just spray it with a little bit of water and it'll rehydrate the whole container of it, and you'll be good to go. But you can see it works beautifully, and I love the shine on both of these. So, you know, this was looking a little cool to me, so I wanted to warm it up a little bit. So we're going to add Chai Latte. This might be one of the most beautiful colors. I love this color. This color would be perfect for wedding invitations. Like, it's just, I think it's so elegant. I think it's one of the most perfect colors. So this is a new one, so it's nice and hydrated. And I have a different sponge dauber for each color, and we're going to go ahead and put some of this on. So same thing, we're going to twist it on, and then I want to continue to, I had a little chunk there, so I was thinking about taking it off, but I was like, nah, we'll leave it on. So I'm going to start overlapping these, and that's going to add to that bokeh effect where you can kind of, it's kind of a hazy, fuzzy light effect, and or blurry, I guess you could say. So I'm gonna dry it a little bit before I start overlapping them. I was a little bit worried that the colors would blend together if I did it while they were still wet. So I'll go ahead and heat set things so that I want them to overlap and so that you can see the transparency and see the color underneath it, but I didn't want the colors to mix and turn into a different color. So we'll finish heat setting it, and then we'll add a few more. So here you can see that here, and I think it's such a pretty effect. So again, just kind of twist it and lift off, and that adds to that kind of blurry outline of it, especially if you do it a few times, because you're not going to get the exact same spot each time you do it. So I like that, and then I'm just going to add a little bit more of the aquamarine to the bottom corner, I think. And then this one will be done. So here are the colors here, the light aquamarine, the darker Pacific Teal, and then the Chai Latte. So for the second panel, I thought it would be fun to stencil another background behind there. I did want to still use circles, so I'm using a much smaller circle. You could also do larger or medium-sized one, or whatever kind of pattern you want. So I have the same size piece of paper or piece of Nina Classic Crest Solar White, and this is an 80 pound that I'm using for both of these panels. And I'm just sponging the Chai Latte on here. And when we take it off, we can see that there's a buildup of some of it around the edges, which adds to kind of like the mixed media effect. So we'll peel this off so you can see there's kind of like little chunks of it there. I did smooth some of that out after it dried. So again, I let the stencil work completely dry before putting on more circles, because same thing, I didn't want it to mix. So now I finally decided, yeah, I just need to spray this with water. Like, why am I fighting with it? I wait till pretty much the end. So now that it's hydrated, I'm going to do my very last circle, and it goes on really easily. So that's really all you need to do. Just spritz it with water. And in fact, if you have one that's kind of like starting to get dry, you could just spritz it with a little bit of water and close it up until next time, and that'll keep it nice until the next time you use it. So here's the two different panels. I decided that I really liked that. That has more of a dreamy effect, but I wanted to bring in the darker color. I liked the mix of the three colors. So I'm just picking a few of those aquamarine ones that I did and putting the darker Pacific teal right over it. So I've cleaned my tools, and I thought it was hysterical how large these got when I cleaned them. I just ran them under the faucet. I didn't use any soap or anything. You can see that the darker Pacific teal stained one of the sponges, which I don't think will be a problem. But there you can see the size difference. So that's a good thing to know too, because you could dampen the sponge just a little bit and get a larger circle if you're looking for a variance in the size of your bokeh circles for your background. Of course, you want to wring it out a little bit and make sure it's not too wet, but you can easily vary the size there. So I'm just stamping some sentiments in Galactic Stream Altenew Crisp Dye ink, and that was from the Vintage Roses set. I'm just going to trim my strip down. For the larger die cut sentiments, I used Altenew Simply Hello and Simply Friend, and I die cut those from 110 pound Nina Classic CREST Solar White. That way when I'm stacking that, I don't have to stack as many because it's thicker cardstock. So, and it's also easier to work with because it's thicker and hardier. So that's a good tip if you're stacking your die cuts. So up top you can see that I cut some other sentiments, and I was amazed. I cut it from these pieces of cardstock. So this is Curious Metallic Peacock and Stardream Metallic Coral, and I was amazed at how closely these colors match the embellishment mousse. So if you're wanting to do a colored cardstock, those are definitely two that you can use to match this particular mousse. So good to know there. So here's one of the finished cards with the stenciling in the background, which I think also adds a little bit more flair to it. I've added some Nuvo clear drops just as embellishment. I didn't want anything that would stand out too much, but it also reinforces that circular theme. And here's the two cards together. As always, all of the supplies are listed down below, and I hope that you feel inspired to give this background technique a try. If you enjoyed this video, you can support my channel by hitting that like button and subscribe button down below. If you choose the bell button, that will notify you of new inspiration as it comes along. I so appreciate your support. I love to hear from you guys, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thanks again for stopping by, and until next time, breathe, ink, inspire.